was offside and the penalty has been given to the Blues. Origin, it doesn't get any better in rugby league. The arena where you expect the unexpected, the chance to become legendary.
I've been calling football since 1966. Can you believe that? 44 years. Scary, isn't it? I love rugby league. The athleticism, toughness, the combat. Just watching these kids of today doing what I thought was impossible. It's a violent game, understood, but I don't use words like brutality because there's a beauty about it, and that makes it easy to go to work. This is my 66th origin. In one way or another, I think I've known them all, just about. I played tennis with the guy who kicked it off. I can still see Artie's big butt running back to get the lobs and the tosses. Beetson was like a lot of people. He didn't believe Origin would work, and I reckon he thought, if it's going to work, then I've got to hit me mate Cronin bang on the nose.
Oh, what a ball by Lewis!
I first saw him in the old Wednesday night competition.
But he's over!
He was playing for combined Brisbane, coming off the bench. He went on to become the king of Origin, controlling games like I'd never seen before. The master and the commander. People compare him to Andrew Johns, and I've got no doubt Andrew had more skills. But in Origin, the king was the king. Everest, the pinnacle. Bradley Clyde? To my way of thinking, this bloke doesn't get the mentions he deserves around Origin. He didn't say much, but he did plenty. I see another blue, Brett Kenny, one of the most gifted athletes to grace this grand stage. At times I wonder if we ever understood the depths of his talent. Gus, he's my friend and sidekick now. If you're talking about passion, that's Gus's greatest crime. He's over-passionate. He just loves the product so much. He's let the game consume him. Wayne Bennett, Tommy. Chris Choppy Close, the heart and soul of Queensland. Peter Steriling. The Chief, Ricky Stewart, Freddie Fittler. Greg Inglis, Big Lazo. Cameron Smith. I've got a soft spot for this one. One, Laurie was a brilliant footballer, but two, he came from where I come from. Laurie came from very humble beginnings, and he's proof you can rise to the top from just about anywhere. Fatty Vorton. 1995, he was the right bloke in the right place at the right time. He was absolutely made for the occasion. Mal Meninga. How can anybody so big run so fast? And we all saw little Alfie Langer go from boy to colossus. In the beginning, he was like a school kid at the wrong park. From there, he created one of the great Origin careers. Danny Badiris. Gus always said he had to be able to picture his leaders lifting the Harvey Norman trophy before he'd give them the captaincy. And Danny did him proud. Darren Lockyer. If one of your kids has a poster of Lockie on their bedroom wall, then you haven't a whole lot to worry about. What a champ. That's Origin. The incredible, performed by the Incredibles.
And State of Origin to me is just finding that little bit extra when you think you've got nothing else to give. It's that little bit of guts, extra, and determination when there's nothing left in the tank at all.
It's about your soul. It's about you living and breathing the game, and about you showing your teammates just what you're made of.
They go out there and they play their hearts out. They wouldn't want to come off. They said, Tom, don't bring me off, mate, don't bring me off, leave me on there. Until they did you proud. They played with broken bones, they played with, cut, just big cuts and things like that. But geez, they were very courageous, I tell you.
Yeah, it requires an unbelievable willingness to sacrifice everything for your friends, your mates, your teammates, to lay every muscle, every bone, every ounce of your blood to make sure that you'll do whatever it takes to win that game. And if you haven't got that, if you haven't got that level of commitment, you haven't got that level of sacrifice within you, then you don't belong there. You're not an Origin player, you're just making up the numbers.
For 3 decades, an age of emotion. This has been the mindset of Origin.
We've got to do it for 40 minutes, have a rest, and another 40. We've got to do it. We'll win the game in the 80th minute because we'll do these things.
Here, courage is not so much taken for granted, but it is surely expected. This bloke could get under the skin of Queenslanders like no other. He made them itch. He made them cranky. And in the end, he made them respect him. Much as they hated him, he won everyone over this famous night in '92.
And Benny Elias is turning this game around, no doubt about that.
As they say in the classics, some mums do have him, or something like that.
When Phil Gould said, you've got to bleed for each other, this is state of origin, you've got to do anything. But that was the amazing part. But the most amazing part was when my mother jumped a 6-foot fence, got through 100 security guards, and she's out in the middle of the field with 30 seconds to go. That's amazing.
You want to talk courage? Then consider Game 2, 1989. The Maroons lose Meninga, Vaughton and Langer by half-time.
Langer's coming up.
That's Meninga, Vaughton and Langer. They go from one of their best ever teams to spare parts and a prayer. And there's more to come.
Of all the Origin matches I've been associated with, that was the greatest victory that we've ever had.
Seeing the blokes that had hurt themselves, and a couple of them didn't come off immediately once they'd hurt themselves, trying to keep going, and then when we realised that there was no one left, well, we just run a bit harder.
This is where I think Wally Lewis stood up as a great captain, and as they walked out before the second half started, he paraded them past the wounded, and he said, "This is what we're playing for, see what's happened here." And of course it was one of the most inspirational things I've seen a captain do.
That's the king. It's what he does. The sheer genius. There's no way this giant of the game is going to go home a loser. Not on this night, anyway.
He just faded across field and he was dummying, showing the ball left, right and centre. We didn't know whether he was going to kick, whether he was going to throw a long ball. And in the end, he just kept on running right over the try line.
Here's Wally Lewis with a stolen ball now. Lewis makes his way uphill. He's got some pace. Lewis, can he go all the way? Still going, he does throw. Wally Lewis has gone in, and look at this.
I've always regarded that as Queensland's most famous victory, because when we walked off, I stopped the players. I said, just stop. I said, have a look at this. Have a look around. And the New South Wales public gave us a standing ovation. And I said, stop and have a look at it. I said, because you'll never ever get it again. Doesn't matter where we go. You will never ever see a New South Wales crowd give you a standing ovation.
The Sydney Cricket Ground. There's been only 6 Origin matches played here. But oh, the memories. The extremes. This maddening mix-up between the two Phils in '82. Greg Dowling's super catch off the crossbar in the mud bath of '84.
Little chip. Oh, it bounces off the upright, and they're in. Dowling has gone in.
Then, the following year, a chance for New South Wales to finally get a rather large cane toad off their backs.
Yeah, well, they thought they owned State of Origin, and it took us until 1985 to reclaim it. And it was off the back of a lot of spirited players.
Coming towards the end of the game, we lifted. We had more energy. We wanted it. And if you really want something bad enough in life, you go out and get it. And that team did. My team did. And when Brett Kenny scored, I remember kissing the ground and saying, we've won this.